G'day and welcome to part 2 of Jacob Lenhoff Tours the World. My name's Brian Emerson and Jacob's asked me back for a second time to answer some more questions for his YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoyed today and let's get into it, shall we? So Jacob's first question. You've met Arnold Schwarzenegger a couple of times. Tell us about the experience. Well, to be perfectly honest, yeah, I've met him a few times now, and one of the later questions you'll see will tie into this one a little bit. But I'll be brutally honest with you. The experience was really short, actually. The first time I met him was last year after an event, which I'll tell you more about later because of another question that I manage. It was very, very quick. So he was on his way out of the country after the event, called into work to check out the business, which he's a partner of, more of that later. And yeah, got to have a photo with him and shake the hands. And it was literally, this is Brian, he's our event planner, shake of the hands, click of the camera, and that was it. Second time I met him was a couple of months after that in Brazil, at the Arnold Classic in Brazil. After the pro show there, where I actually got to sit down and listen to some stories of his, and he offered me a cigar. So that was actually pretty cool to be offered a cigar by Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's something I will never forget. So yeah, it's pretty cool. He's a funny man. He's very charismatic, has a lot of stories. Of course, he always wants to be the center of attention, but you know, a really generous man. So yeah, he's quite cool actually. Tell us about what are your favourite Arnold movies? Arnie movies. Well, there's a hell of a lot of them, but I suppose being a real sci-fi fan myself, actually, my two favourite ones would have to be Total Recall and Predator. You know, I'm not sure. I love Total Recall. It's a fantastic movie. It's right up my alley in the sci-fi, but Predator is as well. I love that whole series. So, yeah, they're my two favourites. They're two very different movies, but yeah, very cool nonetheless. Question number 3. Okay. This is an odd one, Jacob. So tell us about the most that you've worked out in a day. What are the exercises and what are the types of machines that you used? Well, every so often I get the chance to do 2 workouts in a day. Normally I'll just have 1 workout and that'll be 1 body part per day. But a little while ago when I was transitioning from one job to another, I was lucky enough to be able to train twice a day, which was really cool. So I do a minor body part in the morning and a major body part in the afternoon. The afternoon training sessions I would have with my coach. So yeah, it would be something like morning might be arms, but biceps and triceps, and the afternoon might be lower body, might be hamstrings or quads, for example. So generally speaking, each muscle group gets about 6 exercises with about 3 sets per exercise per muscle group. So you're looking at around about 18 sets, and most of our exercises, depending upon the body part, smaller body parts get 10 to 15 reps. The larger body parts like quads will usually have anywhere up to 20 reps per set, and roughly around 18 sets per body part. Each of our body part workouts has, we will have designed 2. One is usually free weights, fairly heavy, a lot of meat and potatoes. Well, when I say that, that's not quite right. Well, there's always a warm-up with an isolation. There's a meat and potatoes exercise in the middle, and then there's a finisher exercise at the end, which is a little bit more isolation as well to kick it off. So a bit of a hard question to answer because, you know, it varies from workout to workout, and we don't always stick exactly to the same workout every time. It might be 90% the same, and a couple of exercises might change if we do the same workout, but from week to week it's sort of like goes, a leg workout, we'll have workout 1 this week, next week it will be leg workout number 2, for example. So it's always mixing it up. We're never doing exactly the same. And even then, once a month we'll go to a different gym that's got some different equipment, that's got like a vertical leg press and some different machines that we might use as well. So always trying to mix it up, keep the body confused so it doesn't fall behind with your specific adaptation. So specific adaptation is about treating the muscle in such a way that it adapts to it quite quickly so that it can perform that function with greater ease and more efficiency. What you don't want to happen in both strength training and bodybuilding is for your body to adapt too quickly. So you've got to confuse it. So it's continually having to adapt to the workout in which you are giving it, so that you're forcing strength if you're, say, a power lifter, or forcing hypertrophy if you're a bodybuilder, which is building muscle and size. So I hope that answered your question, Jacob. How many clients a week or a month do you train, and what exercises do you give them? Another curly question. Well, PTing is not my full-time job. I do that on the side, and I don't have too many clients because I do have a day job, and I've got to train myself. Well, I train with my coach, but you know what I mean. I've got to do my own workouts. So I only have a couple of clients that I work with regularly, and my clients are those, generally I work with people who are really looking just to change their body, increase their health, and have a better life, and increase their health and well-being. So I have clients that are just your average Joes. They're not competitors, they're not bodybuilders, or strength athletes at all. So what exercises do we do? So it varies. I'll usually start, depending upon where a particular client is at when they start with me, I look at starting with their fitness. I'll say some bodybuilders don't value fitness so much. Our ethos is that if you're not fit, you can't grow, because you've got to be placing your body under stress continually in order for it to grow. Now, in order to be able to do that, you've got to increase your intensity. And there's a formula for intensity, which I won't bother going through, but in order for you to be able to keep your intensity increasing, you've got to be fit. You've got to be able to lift continuously, keeping your breaks down, and you can't do that if you're not fit. You're going to be gassing out and getting tired quickly and having to take large breaks. Now that's going to drop your intensity, which means your body is not going to be able to, your body's recovering too quick, and what you want to do is force your body to have to recover quick by keeping the intensity up. So yeah, well, I'll start a client on a fitness regime first. That will be, it'll probably be about 60 to 70% fitness, 30 to 40% strength. Then move on to a program that is basically dealing with their general their general strength before moving on to specific hypertrophy, if that is what their goal is. So every client is different, and their programs vary from as they hit each of their landmarks, or their goals along the way, and we reassess those and set new ones as the time comes, as they either are increasing in size or increasing in fitness, or basically feeling better about themselves, or reducing their waistline, whatever those goals may be. What do we got next? Okay, so last question. What's it like being the event planner for the Arnold Classic Australia? So that's what I was alluding to before about meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger. So my daytime job is the event planner for the Arnold Classic Australia. Now, if you don't know what the Arnold Classic is, it's actually a worldwide event that Arnold started with his business partner, Jim Lorimer, back in 1989, I think it was the first one. It's been going for a hell of a long time in Columbus, Ohio. About, I think it was about 8 or 12 years ago, around that time, they partnered with the head of the IFBB, Rafael Santonio, who is based in Madrid in Spain, and they started the Arnold Classic Europe. They partnered with him and his wife and created the Arnold Classic Europe. About 6 years ago, they then focused their attention on South America and partnered with a company down there that had an existing sport and fitness expo in Rio de Janeiro, and rebadged that to be the Arnold Classic South America, or Arnold Classic Brazil, actually. Then 2 years ago, we started the Arnold Classic. Arnold came to Australia, and my boss actually used to have a fitness expo called FitX here in Melbourne, And so he was approached by Arnold and his company to partner with them and bring FitX up to date and rebadge it as the Arnold Classic Australia. It is pretty wild. It takes an entire year for us to get the show together. So you might say one expo takes a year to get together. Well, it's pretty huge. The scale of ours here in Australia isn't as big as the others. We're just about to have the Arnold Classic South Africa happen in just a couple of weeks' time, actually. Not this weekend coming, the weekend after that. And then my boss has also partnered, and he's the only partner that has 2 Arnold Classics. It will be the Arnold Classic Asia in August in Hong Kong. And I'm assisting with that as well. So yeah, look, it's pretty wild. We've got about, at the moment, we've got 18 different sports. So it's a multi-sports festival. It's not a bodybuilding show by any way, shape or form. It's a health and fitness expo. So this year we had about 124 exhibitors from around Australia and around the world. And we had about 18 different sports, from kettlebells to fencing to chess to Rubik's Cube to darts, powerlifting, arm wrestling, bodybuilding. Last year we had Olympic weightlifting. They weren't with us this year. So we're expanding every year. In Columbus, Ohio, they actually had 51 or 52 sports, and I think it was 18,000 athletes across those 52 sports across the 3-day weekend. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday that the expo runs. So it is huge. It's an amazing event. Same here in Australia, 3-day event. We had about 50 to 55,000 people go through the expo, and with about 124 exhibitors, 18 sports. We had a couple of thousand athletes as well. So, you know, we're getting right up there in size. The Arnold Classic is the biggest sporting festival in the world. It rivals the Olympics. So, you know, with 51 or 52 sports in the US alone and 18,000 athletes, it's a pretty damn big show. So we're hoping to get ours up there this year. We've actually doubled our space. And yeah, it attracts some of the best names from strongmen and bodybuilding around the world. And some of the other sports. Certainly we've got the world record holders in kettlebell sport, and a few others are coming as well. Some amazing fencers coming along this year. So if you're in Australia in 2017, from the 17th to the 19th of March 2017, pop along to the Melbourne Convention Centre. You'll see me running around like a mad jackrabbit trying to keep the event going. But anyway, that brings part 2 of Jacob Lenhoff Tours the World to an end. Thank you to Jacob for supplying the questions. I hope you've enjoyed having me on here for you, and I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for watching as well. I hope you've enjoyed our time together, and if you're down here in Australia, look me up. You'll find me on Facebook, Brian S. Emerson, and you might even see me in a competition if you happen to be in the Dominican Republic in early December this year. That's the World Masters Championship, so I'm hoping to win back my World Masters title. So there we go. That's for all you fellas out there. Have a great day, and thanks again. See you soon. Bye now.